So guys, I won the FM Playoff Season 2. Now, I don't want this video to be a look at me, aren't I amazing? This is just a tournament review. It was a competition that was held on stream over the weekend, and I know that a lot of you wouldn't have had the time to sit there for 4 hours and watch the entire stream. So what I wanted to do here is take a look at the games, take a look and see what happened in my route to the final, and ultimately lifting the title and becoming the champion of the FM Playoff Season 2. Now, as I said, this wouldn't be possible without some of the amazing people who helped me prep for this. I've said this on Twitter, I've said it publicly, I'll say it in a video now. So thank you very much to 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, we've had Not So Secret FM, and we've also had Murph, who all helped me prep for this, with be it research, just conversations, Gareth providing tactical insight to everything, just playing drafts before everything. It is so helpful to get prepped for a draft like this. And obviously thank you very much to everyone who was involved in the weekend, from organizational stuff behind the scenes to everyone who was on camera doing the draft show, doing the live show on the day, all the other participants. It was fantastic. It was my first experience of a live PvP contest, and obviously it couldn't have gone any better because I won it, but the whole experience, just being involved with everybody, was just brilliant. And as I said, I know you guys wouldn't have necessarily had 4 odd hours to take a look at that entire live stream. That is still on my channel if you did want to go and check out the games live and see my live reaction to what happened in them. But what we're going to talk about here is we're going to go into stuff, we're going to break things down, I'm going to show you exactly all what happened. Yes, you're going to see the goals. Let's get into it. Right guys, so this is the FM playoffs and how it looks. Obviously I've got the save game at the end of things right now, as you can see. We're holders, but it didn't all go according to plan in the group stage. So there was 12 competitors. We were split into 2 groups of 6. I was in a group with 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Cam behind the cam, 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪, 𝘼𝙗𝙁, and 𝑑𝑗_nathyb. On the other side, you had 𝘼𝙗𝙁, 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 and Ali. As you can see on the screen, these are the 2 groups. I was into Group A. The other 6 guys were into Group B. Now, we had to play everybody once. These fixtures were drawn at random, whether you were home or away. And as you can probably see, I have qualified second with 7 points in our group. As you could probably tell, Group A was potentially, dare I say, easier than Group B. When it was drawn, I thought Group B was a group of death. There are some veteran drafters in there. You had last season's champion. Obviously, you've got Luke and 𝘼𝙗𝙁 and stuff like that. It was just a very difficult group. So getting out of that group is no shame there. And somehow we've managed to get our way out of here with 7 points. There was 3 of us on 7 points, as you can see. But yes, I did qualify with a -4 goal difference. We were trying stuff out in some of the games, and ultimately it didn't work out, but luckily we went through with a head-to-head. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to jump into the schedule and we're going to go through each game, and I'm going to show you all of the goals. So first and foremost, we took on 𝘼𝙗𝙁𝙪. Now this person didn't draft the same way as everybody else. They got to pick in nine spots and then just said, you know what, I think that's enough. So click the finish drafting portion of the game, and had to you know, basically pick a team after that. They did say to me whilst we were playing the game, what they actually did was gave a formation to Mozza, and Mozza picked their team. So they went into battle not even having a full understanding of who was in their squad. There were some legends in here. He had Ayala, he had Roy Keane. Roy Keane scored an absolute screamer in this one. Roy Keane looks very good, to be honest, and he only picked up 1 yellow in 6 games, which is madness. But as you can see, things did not start very well. So if I click the watch goals thing, that will load up the game, that will load up the goals, and as you can see, very poor in this first opening game. 4-0 down, his 3 up front against my 3 at the back. It was very difficult in the course of the whole game. As you can see, Adama Traore here causing all sorts of issues, just bursting forward. And then, as you would have seen if you've seen the final, we conceded a very similar goal to Luke, actually. Someone bursting through the gap and then the ball coming across the 6-yard box and Rafael Leao tapping it in there. Kieran Trippier starting this attack into 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 again, and then the ball across, and the defense is very much at 6s and 7s now. Victor Osimhen was very, very prolific in the first couple of games. I think he got 4 or 5 goals inside his first 2 games for Draconis as well. I was thoroughly outplayed here, to be perfectly honest. That is the screamer from Roy Keane. Absolutely insane. And then just to, you know, rub salt in the wound in the 74th minute, he makes it 4-0. I will say, when the game was just at 1-0, we gave away a penalty. Bukayo Saka gave away a penalty, and for a little bit of troll and a little bit of humour value, he let Unai Simon, his goalkeeper, take it, and Emi Martinez did save the penalty. So starting the groups off with a bang, losing 4-0. We then took on 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩, a veteran drafter, and this is where we picked up our first victory with a very interesting formation here. It's 4 across the back, 2. It's an asymmetric bit of hanky-panky here. Kondogbia and Ndidi sitting, Sané on the left, Hakimi on the right. KDB, I assume, is a shadow striker, and then Martinez up top. We do get the victory though, so let's load this one up and play the goals for you guys. Stick did score 2 corners, and I think ultimately what did cost him was the fact that Kurt Zouma got sent off in this one in the 94th minute. So Stick takes the lead here. Kurt Zouma doing what Kurt Zouma does. I think he was Stick's first or second pick, so he got the job done there. They gave away a penalty. Kessie scoring from the spot. It was another set piece though that undone me. Kurt Zouma at that far post against Maldini, got there ahead of him and headed that one in. We managed to make it 2-2. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 here down this right hand side knocks it back to Reece James into Kessie, who fires one under the goalkeeper there. Goalkeeper should have probably done a little bit better, to be perfectly honest, but we take it and we move. We then get on the score sheet with a corner of our own. Neymar into Ruben Diaz to put us back into the lead. And then we get another one here. Filipe Luis substitute down the left-hand side into Neymar, who gets the finish at the near post. It was a very tight decision, that, but it did happen. And then the final goal of the game here. Hakimi running down this right-hand side from that right midfield into KDB, into Aubameyang, off to Sané, and the angle was just too good for me to come back against there, to be honest. And then, as I mentioned, Stick, unfortunately, Kurt Zouma gets booked in the 85th and then sent off in the 94th minute, which I believe, in my opinion, ultimately cost him progressing in the tournament, because I think Stick then went on to lose his next game, or draw his next game, not having one of his main threats from set pieces. We then took on Cam behind the cam. And this one, guys, 91st minute winner from Maxi Gomez. This was a very tight game. Despite the fact, if you can see in the bottom right hand corner, 24 shots for us, 8 on target, 3 XG, 2 clear cut chances, 59% possession, 10 corners. We were throwing everything forward because we did need to make this happen. We needed to get the 3 points here. I wanted to try and get on a roll and get things moving. And ultimately, we got the goal with a substitute in the 91st minute. Emre Can here with the ball wide out to David Neres. Another substitute on. Ball comes all the way across. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 there. The vision on the guy to just square it back to Maxi Gomez. Just absolutely phenomenal. 91st minute, as cool as you like. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, there was some stuff said about 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and whether or not I should have picked him. I am so happy with him. I think he was fantastic in that position. Obviously, if he's a longer term save in FM, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 probably not the person that you want in that position. But in this game, we got there eventually. We broke Cam down. He was very, very solid. As you can see on his side, 6 shots, 1 on target, 0.34 XG. It was coming. And unfortunately for Cam, that 91st minute winner was the deciding factor. We then took on 𝘼𝙗𝙁. I believe he's a French content creator. He won 2-0. I'd like to think that we were still the better side, to be honest. 18 shots for us, only 4 on target, 1.51 XG. Bearing in mind we had almost 45 minutes of this game with Reece James sent off. He took the lead through Benzema, and then Reece James got sent off, and then Bonucci scored to make it 2-0. And then obviously, as you know, guys, coming back with 10 men is very, very tough. So we'll load up this one. The strike from Benzema was his first shot of the game, I think. He was very good defensively. I'm not taking anything away from that. But Benzema picks up the ball here. Defense slightly out of line. And then what a strike that is from Karim Benzema. right into the top right-hand corner, leaving Emi Martinez no real chance. Raul with the corner, though, into Bonucci, who somehow manages to squeeze that in from a very, very tight angle. So we were in a very precarious position going into this one in the groups. If I go into Group A, you can see it all is very, very tight here. And in that final game week, if I scroll all the way through, final game week, Cam beats Draconis to put him on 7. I draw with 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 to put me on 7. And then Stick beats 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 to see me qualify, is because 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 at the time, if he'd have got one more point and that game would have finished as a draw, I believe 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙩 would have gone through, maybe with me, I'm not entirely sure, via the head-to-head record. Luckily it wasn't goal difference because obviously we were on -4. So into the final game, we took on DJ 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪𝙩, who apparently has since retired from competitive Football Manager, which I think is a massive shame. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, if you're watching this, mate, you need to keep playing. The scene needs you, to be perfectly honest. We had this game against 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. It went relatively okay for us. We did take the lead here. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 capitalising off a mistake. Eddie Nketiah slotting in under the goalkeeper. I think it was Onana in goal for him. And then Bissouma with this absolute rifle of a shot here. Gerrard gets it. His shot block goozens into Bissouma, opens his body up, and what a strike that is. From the Brighton player. Very good hit. And obviously it did finish 1-1. We did finish as the first game in our group to finish, so I was just sat there agonizing over things and just waiting and waiting and waiting. As you can see, looking at it, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 probably had the better opportunities. 26 shots, 10 on target, over 2 XG. We won the possession battle, but as you can see, we weren't really getting a lot of shots on target. I was trying to keep things as neutral as possible in the groups, but somehow we do make it through. So because of that, if I go back to the groups and show you all the groups, the second, it was supposed to be second in our group, was at home against third in their group, which was Owen, and then Cam would have been away to Omega Luke. I can't remember if that happened or not in that particular instance. It didn't. We were away at Owen, which is probably all the more impressive that we got 3 victories away from home. So then we took on Owen in the quarterfinals. Timo Werner decided he remembered how to play football in this knockout, but as you can see, some of these highlights and some of these score, the XG and stuff is ridiculous. 3.74 XG for Owen. You can definitely say I was a bit more. He was very unlucky, sorry, to go out in this particular instance, and I think that is kind of the story moving forwards. Maybe it was a fluke, who knows. We dominated the possession battle. We had a better conversion in terms of shots to shots on target, but if we play the goals out here, as you can see, he had Mbappe and Haaland, which is, you know, difficult to deal with, but it was Luis Suarez who scored his goal. Kessie then into Neymar, running down that left-hand side. Then the ball comes across from Bukayo Saka, and Timo Werner sneaks in there and fires that one in to give us a lead inside 20 minutes. Obviously, Mbappe and Haaland weren't to be stifled. Here comes Kylian Mbappe, as you can see, into our penalty area. It's poor for Martinez, really. Out of all the opportunities that he had, to concede that one where Martinez spills it into Suarez was very disappointing. And then 75 minutes on the clock, Jude Bellingham, big game player is Jude, good cross into the far post, and Neymar, of all people, gets there with a header to give us the lead. And I'm just going to show on Neymar because I can't remember what his heading is. He's got 8 heading, guys. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So that meant we went into the semi-finals and we took on Pumpster in the semi-finals. I was very, very worried about this. I thought he was going to go strikerless. He didn't. He went 4-4-2. He had 2 goals from Rashford, I had 2 from Timo Werner, and then a goal from Bukayo Saka and Skriniar towards the end. Especially the Skriniar one is absolutely unreal. In terms of the opportunities and stuff, again, 4 XG for Pumpster, 23 shots, 14 on target. We did win the possession battle again, but guys, this is another one that, on the balance of things, looking back at it now in hindsight, I didn't deserve to win this one either. So Rashford scores from the spot, which obviously will increase the XG. It's a higher percentage of a shot to give Pumpster the lead, 1-0. Martinez then with this one long. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 grabs the ball into Timo Werner on that right hand side, fires it across the goalkeeper and into the side netting to make it 1-1. As I said, Timo Werner very absent in the group stages and then definitely turns up there. That's a big header win from Maldini, my legend. Drives it forward into 𝘼𝙗𝙪, into Werner again, and as calm as you like in these knockout events, slotting the ball, making it 2-1. And then this is what happens next. They win the header there. Fabinho, who was Pumpster's first pick, into Ryan Giggs. And then we've seen this before, haven't we, guys? That square ball across and tapped in at the far post. And you'll see one more of those as well. 83rd minute on the board. I thought we had a penalty there. Neres gets fouled. Doesn't count. The ball eventually works itself to Bukayo Saka, who is free inside the penalty area, playing from left wing back. And he fires in to make it 3-2. And then obviously Pumpster's pushing at this point, and it comes from a set piece back to Kessie into Skriniar, who has no right to score that goal whatsoever, none at all, and he does. It's a hell of a finish. He's got really bad long shots as well, probably as bad as Neymar's heading, and we go through into the final where we take on Omega Luke. This one very highly contested. First half didn't really produce any highlights of note. If you watch the live stream back, he's got a very, very nice team here. His legend was Henry. And as you can see, though, very, very tight. 22 shots, 9 on target, 2.64 XG for Luke. 23 shots for me, 12 on target, 2.47 XG. We just about nudged the possession battle as well. One clear-cut chance apiece. But again, it was Timo Werner who turned up. If we play the goals, as you can see, I keep saying that. Someone mentioned that in a comment the other day. It's like, you keep saying as you can see. Pay attention to what you're saying, Steve. But we've seen this goal before, the one that we conceded here. De Ligt with the ball deep into Jordan Henderson. Good ball out to the right-hand side. Thomas Lemar is there. And again, it is that square ball across. That is something I need to pay attention to whilst using a back three. But was something that was kind of too late to address once you get to the final. Kessie into Jude Bellingham. Timo Werner makes the run there, and he slots across the goalkeeper. I don't know who that was marking. I can't see. I didn't know who that was marking Werner at that point, but they did switch off there. Then we go into extra time, and we are pushing to try and make this happen. Saka into Werner at the near post, and he nudges it in again. Werner absolutely smashing it and dominating in these knockout stages. So ultimately we do win season number 2 of the FM playoffs, and that is the journey. That is the sort of quick summarized version of what happened. Hopefully this is going to be around 15-20 minutes, guys, for those of you who did miss the live stream. It was honestly brilliant. If you can get yourself involved in any of these draft tournaments in the community, I would highly recommend it. I had my first taste of drafts competition via the Draft Club, so please go and check them out on Twitter as well. Great bunch of guys running that one, so please do go and check them out. If you are starting to try and make your way into the draft community, I would definitely look at starting there. Again, massive thank you to everyone who helped me prep for this. Massive thank you to everyone involved in the competition, but as I said, behind the scenes, any of the people on the live shows, any of the participants. It was a brilliant weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I guess that means I will be back in January to try and retain my crown with the 2001-2002 retro database. So guys, that is it for today. I'm going to leave it right here. Thank you very much for all your support throughout the course of the weekend. It really did mean a lot. And if you've enjoyed this little recap video of about 6-7 hours of live streaming, please do drop a like on it down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here picking things up for the first time. And I will say, guys, we will do a video tomorrow on this tactic, which you are not going to want to miss. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon.